Yes. Now I have to screen share. Yes. Okay. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Let's start to chapter 9. It's about just launching new products, new marketing offerings, and something you have to know: the product life cycle. All the products are born, grow, go to a maturity phase, go to a declination phase, and they finally die. If you don't want your product to be dead, to die, so you have to figure out how to relaunch it and put it as a new marketing offering. So that's very common. Okay, let's start with the chapter. There are two ways in whatever you are thinking, the business you are thinking now today. Okay, either you acquire a current company doing that, or you develop a new product. Those are the two options you have. So if you decide to acquire a new corporation, well, that was the case actually of Microsoft. When Bill Gates was in his first year he was studying the bachelor's in management in Harvard University. He was the son of a, of a lawyer, and one day he went to his father and asked him, "You know what? I need $50,000 now." And the father said, "Beg your pardon. This is the early 70s. 50,000 was a lot of money, like 150,000 today." And the father said, "Well, why you want money? You are in the school." And he said, "I need money because I will buy a company." The company he found was a company that there was this keyboard to type, a, a all kind of mechanical machine to type, and they could make that type typing machine to be connected to a transistor, and when they type something, the transistor would open, and when they typed something else, the transistor would close, and they didn't know what to do with that, and they invested a lot of money when in research and development. They didn't come up with an idea what to do with that thing. So Bill Gates, by chance in Boston, he visited the company by chance. He saw what they achieved, and they knew they were selling the company. So he went back to his father and give me 50,000, please. I need 50,000. He was starting this. I think he was at the end of high school or in the first year of the bachelor's. The father told him, "I will give you the money. You will buy that thing you want to buy. I just don't get it, but you will study." "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I will study, but give me the money." He went buy, he bought that company, the whole company, and he acquired that operating system. So from there, he started developing. In the second year, he told his father, "You know what, this thing, going to school, is not for me. It's taking too much time of me." His father it wasn't funny for his father, but he accepted, and Microsoft was born. In 19, there is a movie, there is a picture, a very funny picture. I really like, I don't have it with me now. I don't know why, but there is a, if you Google Microsoft in, I think, 1976, 1975, you will have a picture of 12 hippie people, really hippie. Look at the hairdos, and in the middle of them, a kid, a boy. That boy is Bill Gates. So they started developing the operating system. And in his case, it was by acquisition. In the case of Apple, no, it was new product development. Steve Jobs would tell Wozniak, we need now a new thing that could move a kind of a hand in the computer, in the screen. You need to be able to move a hand in the computer because just the keyboard is very uncomfortable. The mouse was born in that moment. It was the first computer with actually bringing an integrated mouse for the user to be more comfortable with the computer. So those are the two examples. Think about your example. If you have money, of course, look for a franchise. If you have 1 million, buy a McDonald's. If you have less than 1 million, you may look for something different. There are, remember the other chapters. You can either buy a franchise or if you want to start developing your own thing and eventually make a joint venture with somebody. So both of you either produce under the other's the company's name. You can be perfectly, you could be the retailer of a Chinese brand, a French brand, and a German brand of something to produce it here and to be sold in the US. This is the best market. So don't waste the opportunity because you are here. This is the best market. Start selling something. Now, there is a process for new product development of any marketing offering. So 8 steps. We will talk in this specific chapter of these 8 steps: idea generation, screening, concept development and testing, marketing strategy development, business analysis, product development, test marketing, and commercialization when you start selling the thing. Now, idea generation, that's difficult. Sometimes you have to come up with an idea from your internal team, and you can even from your family, from your inner circle of contacts, of friends. And you have the other option. The other option is, well, what about if I try to figure out an idea from somewhere else? So something that you have to be aware of, you are allowed to do whatever you want with your life. You can play if you want to. You can not study if you want to. But what you are not allowed is not to be smart. You have to be smart. Always producing ideas. I have a friend. Some of you will take class with him, Sean Enriquez. He's a guy in the College of Business. He's teaching today marketing communication, I think. Eventually you will find him. He's working on the research article he's working on today. He's trying to develop, to understand a specific construct, a concept. The concept is leveling up. When you are in Fortnite, you are working, you are playing, or in the Xbox, any other game, or in PlayStation, you are playing, you are trying to evolve your, your social class. You don't want to be like a rookie. You want to be a professional. If you're playing FIFA, for example, you want to be professional. You want to level up. If you are in a multi gamer online based games such as Warcraft, which is old, you want to have better guns, right? Better uniforms. So you want to level up. And that construct is what he's trying to understand. So he's watching Fortnite players. to understand what leveling up means. Why? Because he understands that. If he understands that, eventually you will find new ways to serve people, new ways to, to level up and charge them in the process. Does he know about programming? He has no clue. Doesn't matter. What matters is that he already knows the construct, and eventually he will come up with a marketing idea that will play very well in his favor. Okay, now internal sources and external sources. Just external sources is everything outside, and when you are in a corporation, includes customers, competitors, distributors, suppliers, and outside design firms. So today, you have an spectacular uh, opportunity. Some of your classmates are in the School of Design. If you make friends with them, and one of you is of marketing, the other one is coming from communication, the other one is probably coming from finance, and you recruit among your friends a major in design, you have the whole team to launch something. Now, crowdsourcing. Crowdsourcing is a new concept. What you do is you have a specific business need to develop a business solution. For example, for this thing, the GoPro, you are tired of this casket. So you want to develop a new one, something new, something that is more comfortable to work with, because this is kind of too heavy. So you want to come up with something new. So if you have the money and you are the company, probably you are the company producing these cameras, so you can place in a crowdsourcing website the request of quotations, or you launch a contest about who can design the best camera casket, or package, whatever you want to call this thing that goes outside of the camera. So the guys the designers send to their company their designs, and the company eventually will pick one, will give prizes to those who have to be recognized, will pick one design, and that will be the design that will be developed. Okay, you can do that. I'm a former student of mine. He has a crowdsourcing website. He goes to the corporations and explains to the corporations what his website can do for them, and he charges the corporations to use their platform to launch the contest about a new design, a new package of whatever. So you go to his website and you see all the active contest. If you are a designer, you can decide, okay, I don't know how to design a new radio, but probably I know how to design a new lamp. And there is a contest about designing a lamp. So that's the way it works. Crowdsourcing is kind of a new concept. You can be the owner of the website. Now, the idea that you have in your mind today before starting class, as I told you. So decide, is it real? Can you win with that idea? Is it worth it doing it? And a very big advice, like good advice, is much better to regret something you tried and didn't work than regret something you didn't try because you just chicken out. because you were scared. That's a very good advice. So if you have the idea and you think probably it will work, do it. Just do it. And if it doesn't work, believe me, put it in your resume. I tried this thing, didn't work out. And it will make a difference when you are looking for a job, because corporations are very interested in a very specific, one specific scarce tool, a scarce ability in people, which is something called entrepreneurial orientation. And if you have already shown entrepreneurial intent, so the corporation can figure out, can think, okay, you have an entrepreneurial orientation remark in your mind, and you are of our interest, because we don't want somebody working just waiting for the check. We want somebody who comes here to make a change. That's very different. Okay, now, so you have the product idea. You have the idea how to do it, okay? How could that go? Now, you have to evolve that idea to a product concept. Those are different. Same thing, but you present it now to a customer. Those are two different things, okay? Two very different things. Product idea and product concept. The idea is whatever I told you. What the idea of business you thought when this class started, that idea. Now, how would you present it to your grandma in such a way she will tell you yes? Yeah, that's a very good exercise. If you can't explain to your grandmother or your grandfather the idea in such a way I makes sense and will tell you, yes, I would buy it from you. And it's not because you are my nephew or my grandchild. It's not because of that. It's because it's a good idea. That's your key. But if they don't understand your idea, you don't have a product concept. Once you have a product concept, now you have to varnish it, to give it a product image in such a way now that your product will be easily identified in the marketplace. Those are the three concepts. It's very easy. Once you have the product, now you have to come up with a market testing, the product testing, concept testing. So you produce one, and you start showing that one in the marketplace through quantitative methods. First, you run a series of qualitative studies, focus groups, in-depth interviews. And after that, a couple of focus groups with 8 people talking in the middle of the table about the product, how to use it better, and run 10 in-depth interviews with different people that belong to the market you think your product belongs to. Okay? Now, after that, I was in a focus group. This guy was testing he was to understand better about the market. And thanks to the fact that he ran a series of focus groups, he figured out that he had the technology, he had everything. I don't know why he didn't launch. Imagine this thing. It's a bottle of Coke, of Pepsi. In his invention, he figured out that by charging people 10 additional cents, 10 cents, he would be able to put here a bottom. The bottom would release a gas, and that gas would practically frozen all the contents. So actually it would frozen all the Pepsi, all the liquid. So he was very careful with that, and he would put enough amount of gas in such a way that it would become really cold. So if you are in Arizona and you have your you had your bottle of soft drink in the dashboard in the car, you enter the car, oh my God, it's 110 degrees inside of the car. Imagine drinking that Pepsi. It's awful, right? But what about if it has a bottom on the a button on the bottom of the can where you punch it, just wait 10 seconds, and in your hand becomes completely cold, so you could start drinking it. It was a wonderful idea, and it was thanks to the to a series of focus groups that helped him to correct, to to better his marketing offering. Now, you have the concept testing. You produce only one, a dummy of whatever product you have, and show it everywhere. And hear the customers, what they are saying about your product. And especially, it will help you for pricing purposes. They will tell you something called willingness to pay. How much price, how much they would be eager to pay for whatever you are offering. Now, you have the product concept, you test it in the marketplace. Now, from there, go to the marketing strategy development. They already gave you a lot of good advice about where, how, what price, when, to whom. Now, start developing the marketing strategy. Remember, you have to position your marketing offering. You have to start thinking about the volume you will sell. Now, you have to describe very clearly the target market, which is going to be your value proposition, and which market share are you aiming to get from that specific marketplace you are going to where you are going to launch your marketing offering. So that data is already available. Sometimes you have to purchase the data, but you will, if you go to Nielsen, you can know how many Pepsis of 750 milliliters were sold in Laramie last month at that level of detail. It's not cheap, but Nielsen is the company that what they do is purchase all the information of the POS system from when you go to pay, from the machines of the cashiers, the point of sale system. All that information is bought by Nielsen, and they resell the information to you category by category. They will give you all the information. So that will give you an idea about the market size for whatever marketing offer you have in a specific place, in a specific town. Now you have all the information. You know what you want to do. Well, you have to start with the business analysis. Everything is about money. Remember, everything is about money. Second thing, cash is king. Always remember that. So you have to figure out how much sales you think will have, how much it will cost, how much money you are thinking you will be able to make out of your marketing offering. So when you are developing your marketing offering, you have a concept test. They will bounce back all the information. You will get all the information of your of the qualitative and quantitative studies. So probably you will either correct the strategy, or probably you will have to come up with that new development of the product. Don't 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 get sad if you figure out that nobody wants your marketing offering. That's not new. But remember, in product development, you are trying to come up with the ideas. No idea is crazy. All ideas are acceptable. Just try to figure out a way to have an order to finish with an idea that you think you can operationalize. When you are doing the test marketing, there is there are many. Conan O'Brien is a very old talk show guy who's very funny. Look in YouTube, Conan O'Brien, Taco Bell, and you will see in that video, it's funny. Even if you are taking dinner, just put it. You will like him. Everybody likes Conan O'Brien. He's a graduate from Harvard University. He's a very smart guy, and he's very old doing his business. You will see how Taco Bell has these several people in specific cubicles trying new recipes. So if you live in California, it's so sad they are not here. But if you live in California, you can register to taste all the new recipes of Taco Bell. They call you. They tell you don't take lunch because you will try several recipes of food and you will get full. So don't eat. And you can see how they sit the guys and they prepare something new and they give it to different guys and they test if the marketing offering the new recipe will have a good impact or a bad impact. So some are disgusting, some are very good, and that's how the Taco Bell all the time they are reinventing themselves. Now you have to figure out when the test marketing is good. Why you want to have a test marketing? This is a very important thing. You could develop the new marketing offering, as I told you. You can buy a new product line from a new marketing offering from somebody who's already selling that thing. For example, you could either open your retail business for what is required in a household. You could think, I'm a student, what do I actually require? Well, I require soap, I require shampoo, I require something to clean the apartment in general, I require probably some food, specific marketing offerings. So that's my life as student. What about if I open a retail business that sells only what you need at home? I'm not talking about these new findings you 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 see in the retailers, and out of the blue you come up with something you actually didn't want to buy. What about if you open a retail business that only sells things for students that actually they need at home? Well, that sounds like reasonable, right? You have that option open by yourself, or buy a franchise, something similar to Aldi. Aldi does that. They sell, their mission is to sell you whatever you actually need at home only. And eventually I will talk more about Aldi, but these guys are Germans and they have had a lot of trouble in England because they are really taking market share from everywhere. They are just making fall into bankruptcy, many retailers in England and in the US, where an Aldi is present, they are much more profitable and efficient than Walmart. So Aldi is a big, big concern for Walmart today. And their stores are small, and the image is, I will sell you whatever you really need. I'm not going to make you walk a lot. It's just 4 corridors in the store, small stores, and we have 3 people just managing the whole thing, the whole store at any time. And you will find there by far much cheaper what you really need than in Walmart. That's their strategy. Eventually, we will talk about a little bit more about that. Of course, you can try to buy a franchise, or if you are already selling something, if you have already a business, well, think about line extensions or going deeper in whatever line you already have. Remember last class, we talked about line extensions and the width of the line, and we talk about the cars. Okay, now the last moment, commercialization. Where to launch, how to launch, when to launch. Do you have a planned market rollout? Rollout means you start selling one by one, by one by one by one, one by one, one by one, and you start trying to come up with volume. Slowly start selling, selling, selling. It's a process, a long process. So, but you have to plan it. If you can, try to plan it. How many units I'm expecting to sell this month? How many units I'm trying to sell the next month? And that is the reason you take the class of budgets. If you can take the class of budgets, do it. Don't think twice, especially if you are in design, especially if you are not a business major. Yes, the engineers are the worst sometimes in budgets, because a budget is cost accounting, is not budgets. And cost accounting is something that engineers don't learn in their bachelors. They don't know managerial accounting. If they can, whoever engineers we have in the class, if you can take a class on budgets, do it. Do it. It will be extremely helpful for you. Now, the new product development has to consider the customer. The customer is always in the middle of everything. Remember that. It's a team-based approach. Don't do it alone. Try to come up with to bring with you investors. Try to bring with you some partners to start your marketing offering. And it's systematic. Product development never stops. Always you are trying to improve, all the time, improve, improve. Remember, improve just by the sake of improving? No. Don't, in your wildest dreams, don't do that. Especially, again, for the engineers, don't do that. Ask the customer what they want. So improve up to the time the customer is happy, and move on with your life. But all the time try to improve, and don't stop. If the customer tells you, well, as you have it now, it's okay to me. No, it's not. It's not. So you pick the wrong customer. Look for a customer who will give you a valuable feedback. Lego has a good team of people. They have like kind of two research teams, two main groups of research teams. They have very bright engineers playing the whole day with the Legos, playing, trying to build new things. And when they figure out there is a piece they would like to have somewhere, they produce the thing. But also, they have several customers that they observe how they are using the Lego. So it's a very iterative process. They all the time they are trying to figure out what the customer wants, what the customer wants, what the customer wants, and what can we do with our product. Always, as I told you before, try to have a team. Don't work alone. It's not going to work. You can try it, but it's not going to work. Where can you find that strategic business partners? Remember I told you in one of the classes about the 5 dwarfs in my university, that before they were 30, the idea was to help them, each other, up to the time when I lost the not news. I didn't receive any more news about them. Only one was not a director of a good company, and they were less than 30 years old. And the whole idea was to see Snow White. That's the whole idea of the 5 dwarfs in my university. They got together and they said, well, we have to see Snow White. It's not going to be grumpy. And the dumbest of us, he's not going to see her either. But somebody has to see Snow White. So we have to help each other. That was the whole idea. And that was the reason they called themselves the 5 dwarfs. They just wanted to be wealthy, and they had to see Snow White for that. Now, new product development always has always to be systematic as well. Don't be scared if you have to trash everything and start over. It's perfectly normal. There was a concept in the 70s that was very radical for some, and for some it wasn't, which was the concept of re-engineering. And strictly speaking about the authors, re-engineering meant you destroy everything. Once you improve something, up to the time you can't improve it anymore. That is the time where you take that thing, trash it, start over. You start over in a continuous process to improve. Okay, one moment. We are near this thing. You have to know about this thing. Okay, this is the product life cycle strategies. The product has a life cycle. As we humans, we have a life cycle. We are born, we grow, we mature, we decline, we die. Same thing with the products. So how do you measure the life cycle of a product? By the sales. But watch out, your product development is just the planning stage. When you introduce to the market the marketing offering, so you are born, the product is born. If it's going well, it will grow, which means you will have increasing sales at increasing rates. Up to the time you will start to mature. And that means you continue growing but at decreasing rates. And you will arrive to the apex of the curve, your maximum sales ever. And from there, you start to decline. You will still be in maturity, but up to a certain point, you will just decline. Now you are going to die. That's the way. So now look at the profits. The profits almost never come into when the product is born. Kind of like never. When you are growing, your profits start to increase. But when you change to maturity is when your profits are maximized, specifically in that point. And in maturity, now your profits will constantly decline. And when you are in the declination stage, your product is in the declination stage, you will still doing a little of money, but you already have a dog product. Get rid of it. When you are in maturity, and if you don't see that the declination is coming to your product, you have a cash cow. Just take advantage of that cash cow. Get the profits, get the profits, get the cash, get the cash, get the money. When you are in the growth, you may have a star product, probably. You don't know. It will be an interrogation all the time. Is it going to be a good product or not? This is the curve. You have to know it. And this is the just explanation. Zero sales when you are developing the product, slow sales when you are introducing the product. In the growth, remember, you are growing at increasing rates. In maturity, you are growing at decreasing rates. Up to the time you start to go down. And when you are in the declination, you are just going down, okay? Now, everything is measured by sales. You will see, you graph your sales, you will see it's kind of magical, this curve. Normally it happens, but you have to have like several months of sales to actually see the graph. Now, when you are introducing, you have slow sales, you have no profit, you have high distribution and promotion expenses. You have to invest, and you may lose everything, okay? Probably it's not going to be your money, but you may lose everything when you are in the growth stage. Well, the sales now are increasing because it's profitable, and probably if you have a star, new competitors will want that money. So expect somebody to move into that market. The profits increase. You will have economies of scale. That means you produce more, and because you are producing more, the fixed cost will be spread among more units. So your production is cheaper. That is economies of scale. That is how it is explained, economies of scale. And in that growth stage, you have to run a lot of market research projects because you have to figure out how to educate your consumer. Because you have economies of scale, lower the price. Lower the price. Your profits will be the same. You are decreasing your prime cost. So don't try to get more money. Lower your price. At the end, I will go to a website just to show you something. Maturity stage. The market is mature. New entrants came. Now you are sharing the market with more people, more corporations. So you have a slowdown in sales. You have many suppliers because they figure out you were in that market. So people, other producers, saw you as a client, as a customer. So they approach you to try to sell raw materials for whatever you're selling. You have substitute products have already appeared, and probably they don't want your marketing offering. They want to go to the competitor who's selling something similar but different. You have You may have overcapacity, and very important, in the mature stage, you have to increase the promotion and R&D, research and development. You have to figure out now where are you going. If you're in maturity, before you enter into declination, reinvent yourself. Reinvent your marketing offering. Always do that. Don't stand still waiting for death coming to you. Reinvent yourself. Okay, give me one moment. Okay, yes. What can you do? Once you are in the mature, you are going to die. Eventually, you will go to the declination stage, and your product may die. They don't want to buy from you anymore. So either you modify the market, go to international markets, go to learn how to use the thing you are producing in different ways, modify the market, increase the market by finding new places to sell your marketing offering, modify the product. Probably it's too old, so now you have to change it, or modify the marketing mix. Remember the 4 Ps? You can modify one of those. You modify one of those, and probably the declination stage will be delayed. That's the whole point. The whole point is you don't want to be kicked out of that market. Now, when you are in the declination, you are going to die. So what do? You maintain the product? Are you stubborn enough? You harvest the product, you get whatever you can from it and get rid of it. You have already done that a couple of times in your life. When you know that you are not going to see that guy, that girl last time, you try to just, squeeze whatever you can get from there, move on with your life. That's normal. It's kind of, it happens. Of course, it's very unethical. You shouldn't do that. But many of you have done that. It's not new. So it's the same with a product that is in declination. Harvest it. Just take advantage of whatever is going out before it dies. Or just drop the product. Forget about it. And it happens very frequently. Very frequently. So now, the last read by yourselves, table 9.2, it is a very nice summary about the characteristics, objectives, and strategies. What happens when you are in the introduction, growth, maturity, or decline? What happens to the sales, cost, the profits? Which kind of customers are there? Innovators, early adopters, mainstream adopters, or lagging adopters? It's very that's so funny. The laggards will always be people who want to make sure whatever they are buying is a proved marketing offering in the market. Yes, but what about if they are declining? Nobody is buying those things anymore. And you, because are a laggard, now you think your purchase is secure, so now you're buying the thing. This is crazy. And the competitors, number of competitors. And in the next is the continuation of the table. Which product at which price, where do you distribute it, advertising, and the sales promotion. These are the marketing mix. What to do in each stage of your marketing offering. This is a very nice guide. My guess is it will come in the exam. So just try to, don't memorize it. Just try to figure out if it makes sense to you. That when you have an introductory product, well, the sales promotion, what do? Well, you promote it with a heavy promotion. You just want to attract them, and they don't know it. So you invest heavy there. Okay? Two final slides. I want to show you something very fast, and we will be done. So product decisions and social responsibility, just remember, whatever you are going to produce, be responsible. Try to just be responsible. Don't mess people up. Don't try to play smart, because it's not going to work. And also, new markets, international markets. Don't stay in the US if you can't stay in the US. But of course, if you have a regional brand, just bring it to new states. If you have the opportunity to go to the East, to the Midwest, to go to Oklahoma, if you have the opportunity to go to Oklahoma, Nebraska, those places, those are beautiful states. I was shocked when I went. I have been there like sometimes, and they are beautiful states, beautiful, beautiful. And they have Browns, which is the best part of those states. Browns is for ice cream, but it's kind of really good ice cream. It's not expensive. If you go there, just look for Browns, and and you won't regret it. Remember, believe me, you won't regret it. Let me show you only one last thing. This one. So copy. Let me copy this thing. Very fast, very fast, and we are done. The stop is not. No, no, no. Okay, no. Well, this is crazy. I'm sorry. I'm just, let me take one moment. Don't. It's not showing me. Why is not showing me Safari? Ah, it's here. Yeah. So sales minus the cost of sales. That is whatever is related to the production of the marketing offering. It will give you the gross margin. Okay, sales minus whatever you paid related specifically attached to the product. Okay, that's the gross margin. Minus operating expenses, which is research and development and all the general selling and administrative expenses. If you want advertising promotions, you can put those expenses here. And now you have the total operating expenses. I wanted to go there. Total operating expenses. In this case, in the first row, you have 26,000 they made of total operating expenses out of sales of 229,000. Okay? You have to see this. It's about 10% of operating expenses. That's the national average. Don't try to buy something in one to sell it in two and think you will get 100% of operating revenue, of operating profit. You are not going to have that. In the US, the margins are very tiny. And that's the reason you have to be very competitive and very smart. That's the last part. Just a couple of announcements. If I have forgotten to something that I promised, please remind me. Number two, I haven't updated the syllabus. I will. Remember, for this week, we have chapter 8. You have to answer chapter 8. Please don't forget that. Chapter 8. There was some problems with my lab again. 2 or 3 people had a problem to access. So I'm just waiting for the technical support guy just to confirm that they had the problem. And if they had the problem, I will open for those people again the system. Okay. That's pretty much it. If you have any question, no questions. Sorry, it takes these chapters take a lot of time, but you have to know these things. That's it. Thank you very much, guys, and I will see you on Thursday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Professor?
Yes.
Thank you.
I just want to say one thing. So I had already emailed you about not being able to access the Chapter 7 quiz. And I had talked to Pearson about it, but they haven't responded yet.
Yes, as soon as they answer you, send me a copy of that thing or tell me who was, and I will open the chapter for you. Don't worry.
Okay. I just want to make sure you knew I did send a message. They just haven't gotten back to me yet. So
I know. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, guys. See you.